Today we're going to show you a how-to. This video is how to use the 4100 Cyclone King. And I've got Bo here with me with the service manager, and we're going to try to go through and help you and train you how to use the 4100. When you get to the control panel, you got a lot of your functions of the camper. We got the generator here with the fuel gauge. All right. And you also get your fuel tank station. You got to turn it on. You get your ATV out there or whatever to feed motorcycles or whatever you got to. Now, if you turn it on one time, you can hear the pump running. Okay. Now, you got to hit it twice. You got to hit it 2 times to turn it off. So if you want to turn it off, you hit that selector switch once. I want to talk to you a little bit more about inside this control panel. You do have all your switches, which controls your outside porch lights, your flood lights, and also your water pump. If you're not hooked up to a sewer, you can turn it on and it runs 12 volt. In other words, if you at a football game, you're tailgating where there's no water, just flip that on and you've got water. Okay, just make sure you holding tank is full, you know, but that there is the switch that you want to select to run your water pump. Okay. I want to go back down here and talk about, Bo, we want to talk to them about the switch right here. This switch is very important, okay? This unit's got 3 ACs, all right? Now, they have, Cyclone has installed this switch. That way you cannot run 3 ACs on 50 amp. You got to run 2. You either run the bedroom and the living area together, or you can take the selector switch and pick the living and the toy hauler section together. You can't run all 3. Okay, now when the switch is at the bottom, it's going to run the kitchen, living area, and the garage area. You can run these 2 units. And right here, Bo, where they got the switch in the living room, that's going to be your furnace. That's your thermostat control. So if you got the switch down, turn on your AC or heat or wherever you're at. This does not have nothing to do with the heat now. We're just talking AC, but this here, you can select if you just want the heat on in here, okay? But you want to make sure the switch is down if you want air in the main cabin and into the toy hauler. Now, in the middle, if we flip this switch to the middle, the only air conditioner you can run is a garage, right, Bo?
Right.
That's all you can run. So if this switch is in the middle, you can go back there and run the garage area only, okay? Now, if we flip it all the way to the top, you can run the bedroom and the garage. In other words, if you don't need no air in the main room at night, and you know you got sleeping back here in the garage, you can choose the garage and the bedroom. Them's the only 2 will work. The center one will not work. So that's what this switch is designed for. That way you will not try. You cannot run 3 together. Can't do it.
And also, people a lot of times when they're out camping, sometimes they have to reduce down to a 30 amp, and if you do that, you can run into the possibility of, regardless where you have this selector switch, only being able to operate 1 unit at a time. So keep that in mind if you're out camping somewhere and you reduce down to a 30 amp service. You may only be able to operate 1 AC unit regardless of where you have your selector switch. And
also, they can choose, you know, let's say they do have to use adapter, Bo, on one. Go from a 50 amp, and I've had to do it before, to a 30. Okay. And you want to do the bedroom and the living room. You can't run both on 30 amp.
Right. You
got to choose one or the other. But if you got the selector switch to choose, you can keep the thermostat turned off. You can turn the one off in the bedroom and only run this room, even though your selector switch is on the main area here in the living room and kitchen area and in the bedroom. So they can just take the thermostat and just keep that off. So that's one thing you want to make sure. If you get these adapters, you want to make sure if you're running 30 amp, you only run in 1 AC.
Right, and also, like, remember that it is ducted. This unit right here will also travel into the bedroom duct.
That's right.
If you're here and you've got guests and they're hanging out and, you know, somebody wants to go take a nap, as long as you close your dump right there, it will flow into that bedroom, even if the bedroom AC isn't on. will get some
you can shut that.
And that's, you know, that'll help a lot, but it will not cool it like it would if you had both of them operating, but it'll make a dent in it.
But you take in a lot of campers that's in just the fifth wheel, that's not the toy hauler. A lot of them only has one air conditioner that's ducted through the unit.
That's correct.
So, I mean, you are loaded with AC, or you got 3 units and you can pick and choose what you want to do.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of the Cyclone.
That's one of the major selling points in the Cyclone is every sleeping, sitting area, quarters, they're all cooled. And the other side of that is like with that Yeti pack too, you've got your underbelly heated. The Cyclone just has a lot of the extra features that you typically don't find on a lot of standard fifth wheels.
Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about the kitchen area. We'll talk to you a little bit how it works. This is a two-way fridge, okay? Two-way means we got gas and we got electric, okay? So if you turn it on, right now this unit's plugged up here in the service center. So if you turn this unit on automatic, it's going to go automatic to AC because we are plugged up, okay? Now, if you're getting ready to travel and you unplug, this refrigerator has got a board in it, hit a switch to LP, okay? In other words, you don't have to remember to come and switch this all the time. It's if you put it on auto. Now, you can pick mode and you can manually go to LP. If you do that, okay, if you do that and you plug it into your 50 amp service, it will not switch over. So make sure I like keeping it on auto, okay? I like it on auto. That way if I unplug it, I don't have to worry about it. It switches LP. Only thing I got to worry about, make sure I got LP in my tanks, okay? So it's pretty easy how to use the Norco. Now, let's talk a little bit about the Suburban, the stove. You got the 3-burner cooktop. It's just about like at your home. You just turn it on, okay? And you got the spark. Just flip out, just twist it right quick. The spark will light it, okay? The oven is pretty much like your ovens. It's a little different than your home. Your home's probably got the automatic igniter. This here's going to go to pilot, okay? So what you want to do is turn this over to pilot. Underneath the bottom, just take a stick lighter and light that pilot light, okay? Now, when you get to the campground, you want to keep it on pilot. If you turn it to off, you got to light the pilot light every time. You got to get under there and light that pilot light. So what I like doing is turn it over to pilot, light my pilot light, and then when I'm cooking or whatever, you can set it on whatever degrees, 400 all the way up to 500 degrees to boil, and go back to pilot. Don't go to off. If you go to off, you turn your pilot light off. I want to show you a little bit how to use the TV where you can watch a movie on it. It's pretty simple. Right now we got it on TV. You can go to source, okay? And when you go to source, you want to hit AV. You want to select AV here on your input source. Oh, come on. Then when you do, hit enter. And that'll take you over. You can play a DVD and you're ready to watch a movie. A little bit about the, we've got the electric fireplace. In other words, it don't run on any propane. This is totally electric. It's like having an electric heater, but yet you've got the looks of a fireplace. And you got the on and off, you got the remote switch, you got your settings, if you want it warmer, cooler, the fan, the brightness of it. So it comes with a remote, and that's a little bit about the Alright, I'm going to talk to you a little bit. It's very simple with the toilet, way it works. You know, your house has got a tank. When you flush it, it's got all the water in the bowl and it flushes through. This here, you want to fill the bowl up. It's got the sprayer nozzle in there. And you just barely want to touch the foot valve and you can see the water spraying. So if you barely touch it, it'll fill the bowl up, and then if you push it all the way down, it flushes the toilet.
Part of the Cyclone 4100 right now, and I just want to kind of touch base with the controls here. What you got here is you've got the awning in and out for your side and for your back awnings, okay? And then your thermostat control, which is standard. Also, you have the bed lift control right here for up and down on that. And then right here is just basically your light switches to cover the lights inside and the outside lights on your awnings. Also, you have a radio / DVD player tied in with this television right here. You have your third AC up there with the dump, and speakers in the ceiling for this radio here. And also, if you say you've got your ATV or motorcycle or something pulled into here, you can take this vent right here to help for ventilation and pull it out. People have a lot of trouble out of these. You have to manually turn these on these little switches right here. Folks always go looking for a light switch for this particular light here, but it is manually operated.
We'll show you a little bit how to set the patio up on the 4100. I've got Bo, I've got Nick here, and I'm going to start out. These cables right here, we've already hooked them up here. We already got them ready to go. You got to make sure when you get ready to leave, you take these cables loose. So you just want to loosen your turnbuckle and take it off. Okay, let's get started.
Take this pin right now. Now what you want to do is you grab the door and bring it up level. Okay, what you want to do is then take it, you just basically pin the cable through right here to hold it in place there. And then pull your top pins. Then take and unbuckle the shorts right here.
Hold that patio right up.
And then you put your pins back through. Just like that.
So it's really a fairly fast setup.
Yeah, it's really quick and easy, and then you just come over here and
You want to
Velcro it, and
then you got your little gate. Hey, if you want to open it up or whatever, you can leave it open, or you can come here and put it in there and latch your gate up. Pretty easy. Okay, today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the auto leveling on the 4100. What you want to do is turn it on. Okay, it says jacks is ready. We got the front jacks, it's showing down. All right, this camper right now is setting up here, and it only has the front jacks down. So I'm going to hit auto level, and when I do, we're going to show you that the jacks, and it's going to do its own leveling. So all you got to do is hit auto level, and this thing is going to start doing its own thing. So let's bring the camera right here, Teresa. We're going to show them we got a 6-point leveling system, and it takes a few minutes now for it to go through its system here. The most important thing, a lot of people has trouble with the auto leveling system. Once it goes in the mode of being auto level, they'll want to stop it. You do not want to touch the stop button. You want to let it cycle all the way through the auto mode. If you do stop it, you will get it out of sequence. You're really going to have a lot of trouble. So what you want to do is let this whole unit, let it go through its cycle and auto level. Okay, now you can see the level of success because we got the green dot. If we're not level, you're going to light up red on each one of these. Here's the front, you got the right and the rear. Them dots will light up red. This unit is ready to camp. You're level, all jacks is down, and everything's good to go. Now, here's the tricky part. You really need to pay close attention. When you get ready to leave the campground, what I always do, I'll go to retract. I hit the retract button and it's lit up. So the retract button is lit up. So I want to retract the rear jacks because I'm not hooked up to my vehicle right now. So we're going to hold the rear jacks and we're going to raise them up. Okay, our rear jacks is up. Okay, and when the retract is, now everything's ready. I'm ready to hook this unit up. I'm going to turn the retract off. and you're done with the automatic level up. Now, if you get somewhere and you go ahead and auto level and you don't like it and you want to redo it, you've got to listen to me on this. If you do that, you have got to go and unplug your 50 amp service. Just like you left the campsite or whatever, it's got to know that you've moved. You can't keep auto leveling. You only can do it once while you plugged up. Now when you unplug, you can replug and hit a reset to auto level. Then you can do it again if you have a problem on the grade you own. Now Leopard makes these auto levelers for all the units, and they recommend to be no steeper than a 3 degree when you start to auto level up. So if you're sitting on a real bad angle, you might want to get something and kind of get a little bit closer before you start to auto level. Okay, this is the front on the landing gear if I'm getting ready to hook up to my truck. If I wanted to extend, just push the extend button. That'll raise the unit. If I want to retract, just put her down and you'll drop the unit. So that's your button.
We're going to show you the proper way to hook the water up to your Cyclone 4100. Now this is really important right here. You want to always regulate your water pressure. So you will first install your regulator on, and then you will connect your water hose to it. Now some folks, if you go to a campground and say the water pressure seems low, well, people are afraid if they hook this regulator up that it's going to be even lower. Now it won't make your pressure any lower. However, what it'll do is, say you wake up the next morning, you've had 15 campers leave this campsite. Now the pressure's shot way up. If you don't have that regulator on there, you could very possibly step out of your bed into a puddle of water, which is what we want to prevent. So as long as you're regulating it, it will not shoot too much pressure in and blow your lines out. And these are standard. You can buy at basically any RV service center will carry these. And I highly recommend that you install these. Per manufacturer guidelines, you must regulate your water pressure in order for the warranty. Now on your Cyclone 4100, you have a cap right here where you can unscrew, and then you can fish your water hose up through here, so that way you can shut your compartment door when you got your hose in and hooked up. Now this is very important right here. This is your black tank flusher, okay? Where you'll screw your water hose in there and turn it on once you dump your black tank to flush it out. However, a lot of people have been connecting their water hose there and assuming it's the city water. Make sure you connect up here. If you connect here and just turn that on and you have all your valves closed, you will blow your seals and washers and everything out on your drain lines. Now when you come up here and connect, you've got this lever right here. This is for city water. Then you can turn it here. That will fill your fresh water tank. Alright, then you can flip there once you've filled your fresh water tank to normal, and you can operate off your water flow. All the way over here would be to winterize. But now we're connected to city water, so we want to turn it and leave it right there, pointing at the city water direction. And if you do that, then you can come in here and open your faucets up, flush your toilets, so on and so forth. It's really important that you pay attention to that lever and the direction it's at when you connect. And always make sure that your black tank is empty or almost empty before you connect here to flush it. Also, when you run on the fresh water tank or when you go to winterize, you have another switch out here to turn your water pump on, so you can pump the antifreeze through your camper in the winterization. Now you have a quick connect on this 4100 right here where you can snap in your water hose there, and then you've got a sprayer here. Just make sure that's tight, and you can turn on your outside spigot, and now you have water. Little portable hose there. Remember when you winterize your camper though that you have ran water in this, so be sure to open this up when you're pumping antifreeze through. This is one of the common places that people miss and forget about. Okay, now you have your satellite and your cable hookups, and if you were to come up here, it gives you a diagram of which is for what. Okay, so your first one right here, that's your satellite feed to TV1. The second one is the satellite feed from the roof coil, and then this is just your cable inlet. So if you were somewhere that offered basic cable, you could screw in right there and it will feed through the entire camper. Now, on these Cyclone 4100s, if you come to this underbelly here, you have a little portable vac that you can connect a hose to right there. You'll have a little box that comes with all the fittings that you'll need to vacuum with. And then, say your vacuum's full, you come over here and twist this, pull this cap off, and right there's your bag. That's the access to change your vacuum. Okay, now on your Cyclone 4100, you have an access door to get to your valves. So if you open up this door right here, in here you'll see 3 different valves, and that is for your gray 1, gray 2, and your black tank. So when you go to dump your tanks, just open this door up and pull these levers. Now when you dump your black tank, you want to be sure that the gray tank is closed, because you do not want the black tank to feed back in the gray line and cause you a problem with stopping it up. And then your connection is right under here where you will connect your sewer hose to dump all of that. Now on your Cyclone 4100, you also have a half bath in the toy haulers. So you also have another access door, and if you'll open it up, it gets you to a handle right here, and this is basically the dump for this sewer connection right here, and that's for your back bath. Now this is your pump station right here. So what you'll do is you'll come out here and you can flip this to on, and if you got your switch on inside at the panel there, then you just pull your hose out, and whatever you're going to fuel up, you want to take this and you want to ground it to your motorcycle or ATV, and then just pump your fuel in, and you're good to go. Just make sure you turn your switch back in the off position when you're done. Also, right here is where you would fill up your holding tank. That is for the pump station. And then right here you have a separate tank to fill up for the generator. So they both have their own tanks.